Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are at hay. So Dad is heading over to the second farm now with the Ford 7000 and the hay turner. So I'm going to follow him over and get some footage for you guys, throw up the drone as it's a nice sunny day out today. Then I have to get back here and hopefully Dad will be back here on time because we have a delivery coming this morning as well. So I'll show you that when it arrives and then Dad will go through it and explain all about that to you. Also said I would give a quick mention. We are in the Fords magazine. So obviously Dad loves his Fords and New Hollands and Fordsons. So blue is the colour obviously, and we have done a 4-page article in this magazine all talking about the Fords. So it's an untold story. We haven't actually mentioned it on the channel. It's not about our move to France. It's about Dad's collection of tractors and how we got into the tractors and how we came about buying or finding each one of the tractors, which ones came from Ireland, which ones didn't, and basically every tractor Dad has ever had and why he's chosen Ford over other brands. So that's in the Fordson magazine. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, if you do, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on our farming lives here in France.
So, back here in the field with me 7,000 of my hay rake for the summer. We're about halfway through the hay now. If this weather keeps up, we'll nearly be finished another 10 days, maybe. Yeah, it's no bother these days once you get the weather right. This is his first time turning it, and it'll be the only time because, believe it or not, you could nearly bale it that way. But what I'll do now is finish turning this, and this evening then I'll roll it up and tomorrow bale it. Because if you leave it exposed too much in this heat, it kind of gets crispy and you actually take the good out of the hay. So turner is a trailer turner I showed you last year, and I don't think I'd have anything else because you don't need a big tractor to drive them, to move them. Whether if that was not a trailer one and on the 3-point linkage, I'd need the TS or a bigger tractor because so they're awful heavy. So no, I like the trailer ones once you get used to working them. So the way you kind of do it is you start on one side of the field and you go down and come back and then and up and down and so on, and then at the end you just go around the headlands once and that's it, and you're not lifting and turning and reversing or nothing. So this what's in this, I think there's 7 hectares in this field, so you've been all into that with that roar. So that's all. Very hot now for the next few days. They're promising up into 41, 42 degrees. So we kind of stay in over it when it's very hot, maybe from 2 to 4 o'clock, and then go back out again. Main thing is to watch these days now is the cattle. Young calves maybe getting sunstroke on that, but they all lie under the trees. That's the beauty of the big trees over here. So that's all. Okay. So here we are with our telescopic Manitou. What number is it? It's a 628 Manitou articulated. It was originally bought brand new in Ireland by a guy that moved over here from Ireland, and now he's winding down because he's in his 70s. So he offered it to us, and we kind of were half looking as well, because in case that had happened, our old one. So I'll just walk you around it here. So it's not in too bad a shape. Now they have got a bit of a beating, so whether I repair them or get new ones, but I'm not going to do it till I get more used to it, in case I give them a beating, because it's a good bit longer than the old one. But I've used it now yesterday and today, and yesterday I was a bit nervous on it because it's big. We were mucking out the sheds, but now I find it very handy around pillars or anything. So the big bonus for this to me is the view of it. So you can see the whole length of the front. So when that's up to the last, you can actually see it. But when you're in the other one, if the boom is up to the last, you can't see it because it's behind you, because the cab is in the front. And now the other, I've no fault with the other yoke, it's a great machine, but it's just if someone new got up in it and was backing over a shed and the arm was up, you could take all the gutters and everything over it. This one is everything is in front of you. A little bit handier to load a trailer as well, because you're up higher and you have a lot more view of it. Plus, there's 2 doors in this for hot weather, and there's air conditioning. There's no air conditioning in the other one. And what else can I say about it? The tires are fairly good on it. It's a good bit newer than our one. So there's a big weight on the back here. That got a few dents, or solid, but it just wants to be painted. Other than that, she's very fresh. There's not one eye leak on it yet. So I'm not going to do anything else with it. I'm going to use it now for a while, and I'm not going servicing it. I just squeezed it the other day, that's all I'm doing, and I'm going to use it now for a couple of weeks and see how it works. What else is here? Now there's 2 connection points. That's another thing as well. These models was never sold in France. They were made for England, Irish market. And the French prefer the one like I have with the cab on the side, because they're better to pull a trailer. Because over here, all the French trailers are on a dolly, and they're to pull them that way. So these were not much good to pull trailers, I'm told. And it might be a little bit, when you have a dolly and this, it'll swing. So that's all. The cab is pretty much the same, only it's bigger. And well, oh yeah, he put on LED lights on the front of it there. The old lights he left inside in the cab. Probably put 2 LED lights here on the front of it during the winter, and maybe on the back. Because when you lock it this way, them lights face that way, and the other lights, you'd want something to face the other way. But the first thing I have to do, all that came with it was a bucket. So I have all the other, there's a different, I'll show you here. The head on this is different to my Manitou. That's a cone head they call it, or some call it a Mapro head. So on my one, it's a hook system. So all that came with this was at one bucket. So I want to change it that everything fits. So this is the one that's on, this is our old machine here, working well. So I want to put a head like this on it. Now you can buy the head for it, but I'd have to buy it in Ireland and ship it over. So I'm going to do one, make one like I did on the digger, like this, that daps on, and I'll fit it onto this. So I'll make the cone head and it'll fit onto this, because that one is narrower than this. So it'll hook on here, the 2 hooks, and it'll be okay. I'll show you the digger here now. So this is the digger. Now this bucket would have been on with pins and bolts. You couldn't take it off. And I do like to have the grab off the Manitou on it, or the bail grab, or have lots of things for the Manitou. So I made up this to fit on, and I cut off the brackets here that was on the bucket, and then I put on made it the same as the Manitou. So I can pick the up of the Manitou or the TL either, or anything. So I'm going to do something like this on the new Manitou, and they'll all be the same. Now these pipes here, I have them left on the digger, because the pipes for the bucket reach back, but when you put something belonging to the Manitou onto this, the pipes are a bit short, so I have these 2 left here to make it longer, and they don't, and when you're finished then just put it there. So that's it. And then the bar is the same as the other Manitou then, pulls out and shoves in, so there's no bother. That's all. If I'll do the same on that, that's the first thing a job I have to do with that Manitou, to get things to fit for the bail grab, whatnot. So over here I have the same thing done on the TL. So here I have the same thing done on the TL. That was just the quick attach I got for the MX loader, and I just made these brackets on it. So you have the same bar again here, it pulls in and out. So everything fits everything, even the Bobcat or the skid steer have the same thing on it, and everything fits. So there's another thing as well I have to do now on the new one, I'll show you. So on this is our old machine. I have to put this connection onto a one like that onto the new Manitou. That's for the Emily bucket, for the cutting down piece, for the electric solenoid. So that's the first thing I have to, that and this has to go on. and I'll do that now in the evenings to come, and then from there on we'll see how we're getting on with it. I want it to be fully serviced then, and so far I'm very happy with it. So it's a bit higher than the other one, than this one, and but it'll just go in. Actually, it's one thing we didn't measure, but it will go into the shed we wanted. We call it the bull shed, so that's all okay that way. No, that's all. It'll do everything we want to do, especially when we have the two farms. If we have a machine here, or if that one breaks down. Another problem I always had with the Manitou is if that did happen, especially with the Imlay bucket, it's a bit big for the TL, and having the digger wired up like that there. So I was always stuck for it because we're always using the Imlay bucket. So I won't be under as much pressure, or if I want to put this one in to do so, I'll give it a right good servicing or some job with it. I'm not in a panic to take it out of the workshop. The tyres are good on it. I think actually I prefer them tyres. I put them tyres on that the year before last. I forget to make it, but they're a better tyre altogether. They're the same size, only a bit wider. That's it. So hopefully it goes well for us.
So that's that for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.